Now I wonder if you can hear me. This is going to be fun. Let's see. All right, let's see. Now, where's my little setup? All right. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ah! I think I'm live. Yay! Hello. Yes, it's working. Look at that, y'all. I did it with my whole crafty mess. Okay. So, hi there. Hi, you saw I came on early? I realize now I don't have to type. That's so weird. This is going to take some adjusting. I just realized I read your comments and I was like, hi, Kathy. And I was like, oh, wait, you guys can actually hear me. I don't know if you can hear me without the fan on. I don't know if I'll survive without the fan. We're going to find out. Can you guys hear? Oh, maybe, I hope you can hear me. Okay, you can hear me. Okay. I'm moving the fan as far away as I can from you while still getting cold air so that the microphone doesn't completely distort everything. You should see how janky this setup is, y'all. Yes. Yes. Okay. I have a Mac AirBook. So the problem is that an AirBook is not like a full-on regular laptop. So I wasn't sure when I uploaded the live stream and the encoder, there's some glitches. I'm going to have to order some equipment, I think. But that's okay. I figured out how to do this where I can actually tilt the camera and show you, which is very cool. Yay, you can hear me. It's so good. Okay, so I did set it up right. How are you doing, Kathy, with all the problems out there? Are you okay? I'm waiting to find out. Florida's numbers, I'm okay. I mean, you know, I'm trying to get ready for going back on chemo. As you can see, look at the disaster on my making table because I'm trying to get out all the Happy Meal. Hey, everybody. Hi, Jean. So my table is like packed because I'm trying to get all the mail packaged up and prepped before they don't let me go to the post office anymore. So it's a lot, but I got a lot done today. So I'm happy. I'm really happy. I'll give everybody some time. I just came on early because it was a bit glitchy earlier. I ran 2 tests today on the live and it was a tiny bit glitchy. So I was worried we'd have a problem. Now people are starting to come in. Now this is where I have to see if I can. Oh no, your mess can't be worse. Do you see this pile? It's like all these made items that I have to package up. Hey, Heather. I have to package up all that stuff on the table needs to be packaged up into Happy Meal. It's a lot. Hey, Sabrina. Hi, Lauren. Wow, Lauren's on here. Hey, Lauren. Wow, you guys all noticed I came on early. That's so funny. That's like the anal part of my personality, y'all. I was paranoid that this wouldn't work, so I came on early. Hi, Lizzie. I have your mail. You know, I was tempted to do it on the live, but then I realized that's not fair to people who don't join the live, which wouldn't have been very fair. I'm just reading everyone's comments. Okay, so I have to figure out how I'm going to score and read comments at the same time, but I'll figure it out. Oh, hello, Nadia. Look, everybody's coming in. Sarah just came in. Rare Roo just came in, y'all. Hi, Rosa. I'm waiting for Rosa to post her new challenge for this month for her art journal, y'all. Yeah, I look better. Okay, so here's the thing, y'all. I hate pain medicine, but I actually slept last night. So that's why I look better, right? So I know it is like a family reunion, Lauren. It's so true. It's so true. As janky as this setup is for today. So I told my husband today after, hi, Nilda. Oh, you're so funny. You're so funny, Lizzie. I realized after doing this today and setting it up, I need to order it. Now I know what equipment I need. Oh, you've been working on your wand? Me too. Me too. And I don't want to give away what I'm doing, but it's not a traditional wand. So I'm really excited. Oh, I can't wait to see yours. Yours is going to be different too, and I know that. I'm so excited for the hop, actually. I'm so excited. Hi, Linda. At least the pile of mail is far enough away that those of you who will recognize your mail won't know it's yours because it's too far. Oh, we have Chiquita's Crochet in the house. Oh, this is fun. So Jean, you're one of the ones that watches, and okay. So you're very much like Miss Lasky, who I didn't know was watching. Well, look, you can see numbers, right, on your YouTube. So you know that there are people watching every day, but if you don't comment, that I don't know who you are. So it's nice to meet you, Jean. See, this is why live is good, because then you actually get to meet everybody. So, hi, Lisa. Oh, and there's Miss Aguilar. She's going to see something on the table if she's paying careful attention. Okay, we'll give people 2 more minutes before we... This is the easiest book, y'all. I really did modify it from Rosa Kelly and Judy. And so it's so easy. And I'll show you ways to make them more complicated because it's so simple that you can modify it 10 different ways. And once you can make this, you can make any book. Oh my goodness, there's Lana. Hi, Lana. You guys know her as Norcali Girl. Wow, that's really cool. You're usually only on Instagram, and I didn't post this on Instagram. Only because it's janky this time, y'all. Now I know what equipment I need. Oh, everybody's here. Hi, Michelle. Hi. Wow, everybody's in the house. I totally have to catch up. Boy, this moves fast. When I'm scoring, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but that's all right. Yeah, it's a lot to... Cynthia, it's okay. You're going to miss people. When I'm in a live, I think that's the part I feel worst about, is that I feel like 5 people will enter and I'll miss somebody. And it's usually somebody you know, too, so you feel really badly. I'm glad you checked your YouTube, too, Lana, because you know what? I didn't post it on Instagram. And Alice, how are you? Hey, Alice. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I have to go check to see what it is. Rosa posted her new challenge, guys, for her visual diary. Guys, you got to go check this out. Hi, Elsa. You got to go check out Rosa's challenge. You know what? Visual diary is so good for you during this period of COVID because it's not perfect and it's just meant to express how you're feeling, and it's kind of therapeutic. It's really kind of it's very relaxing to do a visual diary. It's super relaxing. So Rosa does a challenge every month, guys, and it's easy to do and there's no pressure. It's kind of like keeping a diary of how you're feeling, but through like painting and crafty things. It's really fun. Hi there. Oh my goodness, the sensei's in the house from Canada. How are things in Canada? My mom says that the numbers are going down. Wow, it's amazing. Okay, this is amazing. I can't believe everyone's here. All right, y'all. Well, I pre-cut also. I'm just reading. Aw, send me a WhatsApp, I bet. You're not going to ruin the mood of a live. You've been going through a terrible time, Alice. I can't believe you even came on. Like really, like big heart to you, because I know this has been a really hard time for you. I know that. When I didn't hear from you, Alice, I knew. You know, it's Alice has had, guys, I'm sure you've all noticed Alice hasn't been making as many videos, and that's just because her brother has been in intensive care, and it's been, Alice has had a really hard time, y'all. A really hard time. Hi, Sue. And there's Soleil. Hi, Soleil. I just saw her now. Look, see, this is what happens when I can't look away for a second. How am I going to score and do this at the same time with my Genki set up? Oh, wow. Look at this. Yeah, it's my first live ever. Hi, Michelle. Wow. Yeah, now I know Christina, Michigan. Hello. And hi, Susan. And Anna. I knew Anna was going to be on. You did make it. I can't believe it. Yeah, I got to make somebody a moderator. You know what the problem is, guys? When I go to do it on my system, it doesn't let me add a moderator. That's what my problem is. Like, I'm just taking a quick look. It still doesn't let me add a moderator. Heather offered earlier, but for whatever reason, my system won't let me add it. It's very strange. It's very, very strange. Yeah, everyone, Alice and her family do need prayers. I got to tell you, I know everyone's had a really, let me try and click you again, Heather, and see if it'll let me add you. Yeah, see, Heather, it's not letting me. Isn't that weird? I don't know why it's doing this. Wait. Aha! Never mind. I just made you a moderator. Okay, you know what the problem is, Heather? It wouldn't let me do it before you were online. Hello! So I was saying, guys, listen, before we start, Alice has had we've all had a rough year. There's no question. We have all had such a difficult year. But Alice has had one thing after another, and her brother was in intensive care. And when I didn't hear from Alice, I unfortunately expected the worst. So big hugs to Alice, and that's why she hasn't been present, y'all. I can't believe you came in here tonight. That's amazing. That's amazing. Hi, Pat. Wow, you guys are all on the ball. All right, I have a Genki set up. From now on, I know how to do this. I've ordered, after today setting this up, now I know what to order besides the mic. So I should tell you, first of all, Miss Emebllie, who is amazing, ordered me a mic and an adapter for my laptop. And she ordered it for this live, and someone stole it, y'all. It was delivered to our hallway, and someone stole it. So that's why I don't have it for the live. I've reordered it. And I've reordered it, and it's coming. But she was so upset because she ordered it because I was doing lives, which was really nice of her. So hopefully I'll have one for the next live we do next week. So I should have that. And I'm going to have a different system because I tried doing this over on my table and the lighting is so bad. And either you can see my hands or you can see me. You can't see both. When I get this new system, you'll be able to see both things. I'll be able to go back and forth. I'm taking a look. Hi, Belinda. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody coming in. All right, y'all. I'm going to start so we can chat while we're doing this. This is the easiest book ever. I'm going to tell you that if you want to make a more complicated version of this book, all you have to do is go, you can watch Rosa Kelly's tutorial. Miss Judy, my scrapbook loft, is an exceptional bookmaker. But I will say her books are much more complicated to build because she uses tie back and she actually builds it correctly. So what I've done is I've taken like a little bit of her and a little bit of Rosa Kelly and I've dialed it down so it's super easy. Once you can build this, honestly, you can build any book, like any book. And once you understand how a book hinge works, a simple book hinge, you can modify this by size. So I thought this was like a perfect way to do this. Lanny's going to laugh because Lanny can make a complicated book. And she's in this room right now. But really, it's very simple. So, I mean, most people use 110 to start with. That's what the basic sort of base is that most people use. You can use more, y'all. And it's just really simple. I'm going to lift this up so you can actually see, and I'm going to turn myself because you can actually see while I'm actually reading, while I'm watching all the people come in. So, I mean, to get this really, as I showed you earlier today, all this is 6 1/4 by 11. That's it, 6 1/4 by 11. So all you do is you go to 6 1/4 on, and I'm using my Fiskars. I'll show you what I'm using. This is what I'm using. And I wish you could see it better because it's not very helpful to you to see it this way. But basically, I just changed my blade for this, by the way, too. Hold on. I just cut that the wrong way. That's not useful. Hold on. Here's my 11 and 6 1/4. It's much harder to do this while watching comments than you think it is. Okay. So basically that's all you do is you cut 6 1/4 by 11, y'all. It's that simple. Hi, everybody. I'm just making sure I greet everybody. Oh, and I just saw that Robin came in. And then all you do is I've got this great new scoreboard. I have to tell you, the scoreboard does make a difference. I see that Tony is still using her We Are Memories Keeper board, and both Bertha Blessed Wilson and I and Pat had that board. And I'll tell you what the problem is with that board. And Leticia had it too, but we replaced hers. In the center of the scoreboard is where the fold is. So every time you go to score, it would get off the score marks. And even Tony slips in some of her tutorials, and I kept slipping, and I thought I couldn't score. It's not that I couldn't score. It's that there was a cut in the middle of it, and that's what the problem was. So, this is about as easy as you can get, y'all. You literally go and you take a look at it. Now, on the Stampin' Up board, what's pretty amazing about this board is that it's pretty easy to find all your markings. Everybody's scoreboard is going to be very different, but I like to use the small side of my score thing, and that's it. You just score it at 6 1/4 and you fold it. So I'll just fold it so you can see that. And you need 8 of these. Now you have to decide how many pages you want in this book, y'all. It just depends if you want to have 8, if you want to have 6. And the other thing you have to decide is, Pat says hers went into the dumpster. I have to tell you, I wouldn't give mine away, Pat. That's why I wouldn't give it away. Because I just felt like if I were giving this to somebody else, I'd be giving them the problem I was having, and that didn't seem fair to anybody. So that was the challenge. I know Tony's still using hers, and it's funny, guys. I was watching I was watching a tutorial by, I want to remember her name. It's somebody that Tony watches all the time, because she was making those little bookcases, and I'm building those right now too. So I wanted to see hers because she has a nice way of decorating them. And she also was using it. But I'm telling you that every time I scored, I slipped. Whereas on this one, it never happens. Hi, Deb. It never happens. So for me, it made the difference. So that's all you do, y'all. You make 8 of these. And then you have to make a decision. And I'm going to show you what the decision is. In Rosa Kelly's tutorial, I'm going to show you up close. In Rosa Kelly's tutorial, what she does is she joins the 2 pages back to back together. Let me show you. I have to get one that's not joined so I can show you. Those are already joined. Okay. So she takes the 2 pieces, y'all, right? And she puts them back to back like this. Let's see if you can all see. And what she does is she glues a U all the way around. And she does that because then that creates a center pocket in the page. That's a slightly more complicated way of doing this. So that's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to do this. And thank you. Hi, Wandia. Thank you so much for being patient with me all with my janky setup, because next week it's going to be a lot better because I'm going to have equipment. So, when I was building this one to show you all, because I want to teach you the most basic way of building a book, I didn't do it that way. I just put them straight on straight, which I'm going to teach you. But for people like Alani or people that have built books before, I will tell you that the reason Rosa joins them like this is so that you can get a pocket in the middle, a deep pocket, and you can put tags in it. But for the purpose of today, I'm just going to do this the simple way so that you all learn how to build a really basic book. And then, what does the J stand for? What's the J? Oh, it's for Eric. Oh, it's for my newbie swap partner. I was like, what does it stand for? It's for Erica Johnson Woodson. It's my newbie swap partner. That's who I made this for. Marcy's here. Where's Marcy? Marcy, what are you doing out of bed? Marcy! Oh my goodness, Marcy's in the room, y'all. How are you feeling? I'm waiting to see what Marcy says. Oh, Marcy, I can't believe you're in the room. Oh, yeah. Oh, I bet you're weak. I can't even believe you're in the room. So y'all, Marcy is doing better, but now, as you all know, her daughter, Chloe, contracted COVID. That's the thing. When your family, when one person gets it, the risk is that other people in your household are going to get it. Oh my goodness, Marcy. Oh, Lana, thank you. This one's super easy. Look, guys, I built this as an embellishment book. I'm going to show you because I haven't decorated it yet. There's no chipboard or anything. I built it with like lots of deep, like to hold a ton of embellishments because I'm sending her a bunch of things. So mine was really designed to hold things. Every page is to hold something. But at the end of the day, I also left her some pages as mats because I thought maybe, this is her first summer crafting on YouTube. So I was thinking that, she's starting to get things like cards and things like that. And so I figured it might be nice for her. She can use this as a keepsake afterwards to store the cards and the notes she's getting, especially for her challenge. But this is really simple, y'all. Once you master this, you honestly can make any book. It's that simple. Let me get the book hinges and show you how we do this. Belinda, how are you feeling? I can't believe you're in the room either. Are you managing okay? Yeah, it is a party in the room. It's true, Pat. It's so true. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys something. When most people make a book and they create the book hinge, which I'll show you again how you make these, and I'll show them to you. I'll show it to you on here. Most people just do these singles. They just use 110 cardstock or 65, and they don't build them up twice. It's kind of personal opinion, but when I did my covers, guys, I was worried that a chipboard cover will be too heavy. And so I actually built mine up twice. None of the other tutorials do that, and maybe it's overkill, kind of like the way I over tape. But for me, it's just like extra insurance. I'll tell you, it doesn't matter what glue you use for this. And hi, Alvia. Hello. Oh my goodness, it is a party in here tonight. It's a party in here tonight. Oh my goodness, I now have to read the comments at the same time. Belinda's not going to get sick of you, Pat. She's grateful. She's grateful. She's not sick of you. Totally not sick of you. Okay, so this is the new Beacon 3-in-1, which is supposed to replace Fabric Tack. I got to tell you, I don't know if anyone in this room has had this experience, but I find this doesn't work very well on the metallic, like the Crafter's Companion glitter paper. This didn't work that well, and Fabric Tack always worked perfectly. Did anyone else have this problem? I don't know if you have. But anyway, it doesn't matter what glue you use, y'all. I'm being extra ridiculously careful, and I'm going to double my spine up. Again, this could be overkill. I'm going to tell you that. It's just that I feel like if I don't, and I put on a chipboard cover, the spine could rip. That's why I double it up. But I mean, it's entirely up to you. That could be overkill the way that I over tape. Hi, Sandra. It could be, honestly. But I just feel like it's a little bit of extra protection on the book hinges. So the book hinges are really, really easy to attach. They literally require no genius effort. What they do require is making sure that you line it up. If you want to know the truth, that is probably the trickiest part of building this book, is making sure that, let me take you close. See that? It has to be lined up perfectly. Now, I've tried using glossy accents. I've tried making this with this. Okay, I have some complaints about this glue. I know Sunshine Honeybees loved it. I will tell you something. It works really well, but I want to show you one page. Hold on. No. Where is it? I fixed it for the most part, but I want to show you something. There it is. It's slightly warped, like in a way that art glitter glue never does, or Fabric Tack never does, or Helmer's 450 never does. So my warning to you when using this is to watch that carefully. How I fixed it was just by putting it. You can iron it after too. Hi, Patty. So you can do that too. Yeah, welcome to everybody. I'm sure I just missed a whole bunch of people because I was so busy focusing on what we were doing that I completely missed. It's hard to watch both things. I don't know how Miss Judy does this. All right, so it doesn't really matter what glue you use. Hi, Misty. But I will warn you that I liked this for embellishments, but I didn't like it for bookmaking because I found it worked a little bit. So that's preference, y'all. That's just preference. All right, so the trick to this, honestly, is making sure that your hinges line up perfectly. Where you're going to mess up is if they don't line up. And basically, this is how you build the book, and then I'll show you how you cut the hinges. You could do it two ways. You can glue. Let me show you what I'm doing. You basically put glue on one side of the hinge. When you figure out how easy this is, y'all, you're going to be like, why was I so afraid to make one of these books? Okay. Now, as Rosa Kelly says, you want to make sure all your flaps are facing the same way, unless you want them to face a different way. Sometimes you do want that. But for this book, we don't want that. We want them all facing the same way. And then you line your first hinge up. Now watch what I'm doing. I'm making sure I'm using the beacon because I need a little bit of time in case I didn't get this perfect the first time. Right? So I choose to use the 3-in-1 because it gives me time in case I make a mistake, y'all. Rhonda's birthday is coming up? Really? Hi, Rhonda. It's almost your birthday. Okay, so that's the first hinge, right? I mean, wait till you see how simple this is, y'all. Okay. And then you attach it to the next page. It's literally this simple, guys. That's why I said we can build one of these in a live. It's that simple. And then you do the same thing again, lining it up to make sure. This is where it's tricky, y'all. You have to make sure, especially as you're building it, that not one edge goes over. That's the part that's tricky. Yeah, it's the first live. Yes, exactly. You know what? Chiquita just said she uses tape, and I was going to address that. You can use score tape for this. I find, look, my double-sided tape, y'all, you know how hot the apartment is right now? Okay. So I have this little fan, right? Because it's over 90 because my doctor won't let anyone in to fix my air conditioner. So here's the thing. My tape is not sticking. Like in the heat, you know how in Florida when I used to craft on the lanai, I would like do what I call a lanai test. I would finish a project, I put it on the lanai, and then the next day I check it. If it didn't warp, if it didn't come apart, then I knew I didn't need to fix anything, and I knew I could just mail it off to the person. Well, I feel like this apartment right now is like a test, y'all. This tape is not sticking. It's coming apart. So, hi, Kimberly. So I'm using, the reason I'm using the 3-in-1 is because it's holding up in the heat. It's heat resistant. Now, score tape is also heat resistant, but it's expensive. This book that I'm building, which is really this book, is not really meant to last forever. And the reason I say that is, look, guys, this kind of spine that we're building is not, over time, will give out. If you keep opening it up, you know, if you keep opening this book up, eventually the spine's going to go. That's why Miss Judy, when she builds hers, she uses tie back. That prevents it from happening. This book will probably last 5 years. It's just not going to last 20. So you have to decide for the cost of score tape, is it worth it or not worth it to you to use your score tape? I totally agree though. I mean, that score tape is even easier and it won't warp. So that's all you do. Then you attach the next one, y'all. It's literally that simple. It's hinge to hinge and page to page. Now, I had you guys do 8 pages. I said that, we'd do 8 and then we would do 5 of the hinges. That's really, when Rosa does it, she does 4 pages in her book. You saw that for the one I just built, I did like 22 pages or 20 pages. You can make as many or as few pages as you want in these books. Once you have the hang of putting on the hinges and building the hinges, it won't matter how many you do. You can make as big a book as you want or as small as a book as you want. I will tell you that the more hinges you add, this is where it gets trickier. Do you know what brand it is? I want to know because I'm telling y'all, this double-sided tape is annoying the heck out of me. lately. Like I'm not using it. Yes, Lenny's like, your spine's really neat. That's okay. So that's the thing. That's the secret, y'all. The secret is if your spine is really neat, you won't have any overages. You won't have to worry about your pages. Everything will match perfectly. I would say this is the hardest part. It's actually not the cutting. It's not anything. It's literally making sure that your hinges line up perfectly with your pages. I mean, we all know how to cut a page so that it's 6 1/4 by 11. We all know how to score at 6 1/4. What we might not know how to do is to make sure that our pages are perfectly aligned. And that's where I feel like for bookmaking, it's about precision. And usually I used to have to stand up to lay my stuff down straight like Miss Judy. I still do if I'm making a greeting card, y'all. But now for bookmaking, I can do it sitting down now, which is good because can you imagine if I had to do this live trying to stand up? Yeah, see, exactly. This is exactly the problem. When it's hot out, right? You're right. It doesn't work. Tape doesn't work. Please post it. Of course. Yeah, no, I will. I promise you I will, Deb. Other people ask me to. They're like, you know what? And then take us through from step to step. And I'm going to do that because people want to know how to do this. I will tell you that the one thing about this glue is that it's held up in the heat. So I did a test, like I told you. This warped a little. It's great for embellishments, this new Barely glue. It's really good for embellishments. And it's runny like art glitter glue. So you don't need much, and that makes it positive, but it does warp more than art glitter glue. Carmen loves this glue so much, but I think it's too expensive per ounce to use as glue. It does work really well. When I'm doing diamond dust, I use the tonic glue because it's the one that for me holds the best. But when it comes to bookmaking, I use this because I find like it gives me just enough time to move the spine around in case I make a mistake, but it grabs fast enough and it holds up in the heat. Like it's passed every heat test, which for me is remarkable considering that, like, you know, sort of like Florida. How did I know if your stuff would fall apart? When I mailed it to you, I would put it on the lanai overnight. And I feel like the apartment is the same way right now. So I'm going to add another hinge and then I'll show you what we do after. The spine is a little tricky on this book. That's the only part that maybe is making the curved spine, but I'm going to show you how to do that. And I have to add one more for the back. Bye, Belinda. Stay healthy, girly. Thank you for coming in. That was really nice of you. And I'm glad that you were able to. I'm really glad. Take very good care of yourself, please. It's exhausting, y'all. Going through treatment and being on chemo is exhausting. And she's had a really rough couple of months. So it's amazing she was even in here. All right. So again, all you do is line it up. Now notice that I've left a hinge in the front and I've left a hinge in the back. And the reason for that, y'all, is that's how you attach your cover, right? You have to attach your cover, which you either make out of chipboard or you can build up, as I was explaining to Christine, you don't have to use chipboard. Griffin Girl was right. If you cut a 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 and you cut 5 of them, glued them together in a stack, you can totally use that instead of chipboard and save money. And in fact, when I was making the newbie swap stuff, guys, I saved my good quality cardstock scraps and made a bunch of stuff that way so that you didn't have to use chipboard. So it's a really good way to save money and use up your scraps, actually. So even if you don't have chipboard, you don't need to have chipboard to make a book. You really don't. I mean, it's easier if you have it, and I'll show you why. Yeah, it's funny. You know what? It comes out the same. I didn't know this either. It was Griffin Girl. So I was looking for a book for Erica and I to make for our newbie swap. And I wanted it to be a really simple book because it was her first book. And I came across this amazing tutorial by Griffin Girl on her mini books. And she doesn't use chipboard. She uses 5 layers of cardstock. So I made one as a test. And when I tapped on it, it was exactly as strong as my chipboard. I couldn't believe it. And so I've learned that, yeah, you don't need chipboard, actually. You really don't. You can make your own using scraps of your cardstock. And that'll save you money, actually. And yeah, and Salam packaging materials, like all those cereal boxes, cracker boxes, save all of that. You don't have to spend money on chipboard. You can just make it yourself. It's like really a big savings. When I discovered that thing from Griffin Girl, I was so excited because, and then Christine wrote in today and said, well, do I need chipboard for your cover? And I was like, no, you don't. Take 5 of these, glue them together in a stack, and it's going to be fine. And that's what's remarkable, and it'll save you a ton of money. Yeah, I like the boxes better too. It's funny that you say that. I think we just don't realize till we test it out, y'all, that that chipboard's not all it's cracked up to be. The boxes and the packaging work just as well, if not better, actually. Now, speaking of which, where did I put my pre-cut cover? I have my little makeshift desk here, y'all. It's pretty funny, actually. And I'm actually going to use packaging to do mine, actually. And I'm just going to cut it at 6 1/4. Now, if you have a guillotine cutter, it's easier to cut your chipboard, by the way. I'm just choosing to use this because I have a new blade on it, so I'm okay. I'm watching at the same time. Yeah, me too. You know what? Me too. I think we are all learning that, like, first of all, the chipboards come in all different thicknesses, and each company has a different definition of what a medium is and what a thick is. So I ordered medium chipboard thinking it'd be thinner, like kind of like our cereal boxes, and it came and it was thicker than my thick chipboard. So I've just learned, I just save my boxes, y'all. I just find that it's so much easier. It's less expensive, it's easier, and I don't know, it's good for the environment too. Oh, you got your steam. Oh, I'm so happy. Michelle, they came. I did miss the comment. I'm still learning how to juggle the comments and also while making. Oh, I'm so glad. That makes me really, really happy that you got it. One piece. So the next thing is it's just as easy, y'all. It's before you attach this, there's 2 ways to do this. I could show that to you both ways, but I'm going to explain to you why I prefer it the other way. When you're building a book like this that has different size pages, you don't necessarily need to do the matting and the laying down before attaching. That's why I showed it to you this way first. When I build my more complicated books that have all different ways of opening, I prefer to mat those before I join them. But this one you don't need to, with one exception, and that's the cover. Because what you're going to do is you're going to wrap the cover. Now, where's my sheet of paper that I pulled out for this? I had everything here ready. And then, of course, now that I need it, it is not here. Hold on. Give me a second while I'm reading your comments. Do you need that? My husband thinks that I have already far too many craft supplies. Let me tell you something. You know what I told him today? Did you guys all see Tony's video today where she said she had, okay, so she keeps her sequins in boxes of 25, right? And she was saying she had more than 10 boxes. So I realized that means she has more than 250 sequins. So when I was talking to my husband today, I said, honey, you know how you think I have a lot of sequins because I've got 24? Yeah, well, Tony has 250. And he was like, what? And I was like, yep, 250. So I think, you know, it's funny that you say that, like your husband asks you that, because my husband thinks I have a lot of supplies too. I don't think he understands what people actually own. I don't think my husband understands. He thinks like 5 of something is a lot. Okay, so you have 2 hinges. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't miss a step. It depends how many pages you want, Lauren. So okay, so Lauren, I had you guys make extra pages just in case you messed one up. Bye, Michelle. Just in case you messed one up or in case you wanted a bigger book. How many pages are joined together with the hinges right now, Lauren? I'm waiting for Lauren to answer because she didn't mess up. Hi, Lorraine. Because look, Lauren, in this one, I only have 4 on purpose because this is a smaller book that I'm making. But you can have 8, you can have 10. I just had you make extra so that in case you wanted a really big book, you can make a bigger book. If you wanted a smaller book, you can make. So you've got 4 pages. Okay. And you have, so you have to decide. Add another hinge, another page, another hinge, another page. And you should have enough to have 2 hinges on the outside. You have 4 hinges left, correct? Hi, Brandy. I'm laughing. I'm so laughing. Yeah, my husband says the same thing. It's a good thing he's not here right now. So Lauren, all you want to make sure of is that you have a hinge on the outside, right, of each so you can attach your cover. Good. You've got 2 left. Okay. So on the outside, Lauren, make sure that if you've got 2 left, make sure that you have 1 on each side that's open so you can attach your cover. It's super easy, guys. This is like the easiest, and this ends up looking more complicated than it is, honestly. So Lauren, if you already have them like this open, then you can add some more pages. You can add another page on another page or another 2 pages and still have enough hinges for your cover, which is what I intended. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't miss a step. I'm just making a slightly smaller book. But you did it perfectly. I just gave you a little bit of wiggle room. Some people like a bigger book, some people like a smaller book. So for the cover is something completely different. The best way to explain a cover to you is that it's like wrapping a present. That's the easiest way to explain this to you. I've seen many people do this online. And the only way to explain it really is we're going to cut around it like it's a present. So in other words, leave enough room all the way around that there's a border, because you're going to need to fold it in to cover it. And then we're going to cut another piece to go on top. And literally we're going to wrap it like a present. So I'm going to show you. The worst part about this is don't leave yourself too little room. So I'm going to move so you can see this better. It's really important to me that you see this properly. Because the first mistake I ever made while doing this, y'all, was that because I was being chintzy, I was trying to save paper, is that I didn't leave enough room. Because I thought, well, surely we don't need that much room, but actually you do. So make sure you can see. Yeah, you can. All right. I'm making sure that you can see how much I'm cutting. Okay. Put that to the scrap pile. Okay, now, this is the part I'm not so good at and some of you might be better at, and I'm just going to let you know that. The next thing that you have to figure out how to do is to cut in a triangle here, just enough that it makes for a nice clean fold, like we do with boxes, but not so close that you leave the edge of the corner exposed. This is where it gets tricky. Some people glue this down and then cut. I prefer to not do that in case I make a mistake and I can adjust it. So you have to make a decision about what kind of cutter you are. But basically, here we go. Watch this. This is where it gets a little tricky. So you see, you got to come in close enough that it's like how we do this for boxes. But I will pick those up after. But not so close that you don't cover the corners. Now that one I didn't get close enough. See? There you go. Okay. So what you're left with is something like this. Well, that doesn't look right. Hold on. I'll show it to you. There we go. Something like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it onto the page, and then we're going to fold it like a Christmas present, and then put another page on top, and you'll see how clean this cover comes out. It's really surprising. I'm looking to see. Girl, if I mess up, I know. You know what? Exactly. If you mess it up, here's the truth. The beauty of this way of covering is that if you mess this up, you can cover it. You can cover the mistake. Did I just see Jelly Bean walk? Jelly Bean! Girly? Miss Janice? She's going to be like, look at her. Look at her. It's thanks to Jelly Bean that I know how to make a box, y'all. That's the truth. All right. So what I would suggest, because I'm doing this tutorial, I'm not bone folding it. I'm just doing it very quickly on my lap, but you should bone fold it, guys, to make sure the glue spreads. Always make sure that you're bone folding. If you don't have a bone folder, use a clean side of a ruler. Okay. So that's what you're left with, y'all, right? And then all you do is you fold it like a present, literally. So I have a crazy way of doing this. I like to fold all because then I can see. So see here, look at that. I don't like that. So that tells me I have to go in and cut a bit closer. So I fold it all down until I'm happy with the way that it looks. There we go. And now it's fine. And then I'll do the next side, the same thing again. I check all the corners to make sure that there's no overlay. That one's fine. Now, nobody scores when they do this. I don't know why. I've watched 1,000 videos on this. They don't score when they do it. And I think it's because it just turns out without you needing to. So then all you have to do is go back. Once you've made sure that there's no overlay, make sure that there's no extra piece sticking out that you don't like. Make sure that all the edges are covered. All you do is you glue down the seams, and then we cut another page to go on top, and that's your cover, and then we'll attach it. It's that simple, y'all. It honestly is this simple. Now, often when I make this, when I'm doing these for myself and I'm making a bunch of covers, I use our craft clips to seal down the paper to the chipboard or the packaging, depending upon what I'm using, if I'm using packaging or chipboard. I love that you guys are all chatty. It's so nice to be in here and chatting. I'm sure hi, Dawn. I didn't see you come in. So you see all? Look how easy that is. Done. So, hi, Susan. Oh, you know what? It's so funny, Susan. I was just about to email you because I haven't seen you online lately and I've been concerned. Is everything okay? Hi, Dawn. Okay, so that's how easy it is, y'all. And then all we need to do is cut a page to cover the back. And then we attach it to the book. And this is both for the front and back cover. Packaging, y'all. Just as good as chipboard. Okay, so let me get a contrasting piece of paper. I'm using this DIY shop that I like, this DIY paper. I think I want like a ruler page. Yeah, I think I do. So we know that the cover is 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. Yes, exactly. So what I'm doing is I'm going to paste another page on here because we know it's 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. So I'm just going to cut a 6 1/4, and then I'm going to show you how you attach it on. And then we'll talk about the spine, because the spine is probably the trickiest part of this, I think. But you see, this one is so easy, y'all, that you can do this during a live. And I'm a slow maker, as y'all know. So if I can do this in an hour, if I can make a book base in an hour, anybody can. And that's why I simplified this. A more complicated book takes longer. But in a book like this, super simple. And once you can make this, you can make anything. Bye, Soleil. Who did I miss coming in? I'm sure I missed somebody. And that's a little bit too, I don't like the way the edge looks on that. So I'm going to make that a bit smaller. I'm very picky, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm super picky when it comes to bookmaking. It's like the one thing I'm super, super picky about. I don't know why. I'm not sure. I wish I were this picky about everything. But when it comes to bookmaking, I'm this picky. Okay. Enchanted. All right. So you see, look, all we're going to do is glue that on and we're done. And that's the cover. And the cover is finished. Now, clearly you have to go back and decorate. This is just the building. Yeah. You know what? Janice has always been called Jelly Bean ever since she was a kid. It's actually like what people call her. It's not just her YouTube name. Timekeepers. Who's the timekeeper? I'm glad somebody's watching the time, because I'm not. I'm having too much fun. Okay, so that's it. So you see, that's as simple as it is. And then you attach this the same way, y'all. You literally attach it now in the exact same way of lining it up to the spine. So I'm going to show you how you do that. And then we're going to talk about how we build the cover spine. But that's it. It's that simple, y'all. It really is that simple. And you do the same thing with the back, and you got yourself a book. And then all you have to do is mat and design inside and decorate. So, I mean, this is like such an easy book to make. It's, you know, it's true. It does depend on what kind of book you want to make. You can make this as complicated or as easy as you want it to be. Once you learn how to build a book hinge like this, though, you can make any book. You know, all those like fast food fun books that I make, they're all built using this technique. So like once you can do a basic book hinge, you can make anything. And decorating is the fun part. I don't know. You know, I have to tell you, I think I'm weird, Jelly Bean, because I like the building more than the decorating. Isn't that crazy? Well, you know what, Laura, believe me, I prefer my desk too. But you know what? I tell you all that when I'm watching you guys at night, I craft on this sofa. Right? Because sometimes I watch you on the big TV, but then my neighbors get nosy and they hear you too clearly. So then I watch you on my laptop. And if I'm watching on my laptop, then I'm sitting on the sofa, which means, well, I'm crafting. So I've learned how to do anything like this. See? Perfectly attached. So all you do is the same thing for the back, and you've got yourself a book. Now, the spine. Let's talk about the spine. Because once you can do this, you've basically got a book already. What do you do about this spine? Well, for that, we needed a piece of 6 1/4 by 4. And there's a couple of ways of dealing with this spine. So first, let's cut the 6 1/4 by 4. And then I'm going to show you what you can do. There are a couple of different ways of doing this. Whoops. I'm going to have a big old mess to clean up when I'm done here, but that's okay. That's good. 6 1/4. I just put a new blade in my Fiskars. It's the first time I've had to do it, actually. It doesn't look right to me. Why doesn't that look right? All right. So it doesn't look right to me. Basically, this is what we're creating. Now, that's pretty narrow. Sometimes when I do it, I like more room. So I make them a little bit bigger than this. But Rosa Kelly's right. I mean, that is all you really need is the 6 by 4. In order to do this, though, you have to get it to be shaped. So how I do that is I score it. Now, Rosa Kelly, when she does hers, she scores at 1, at 3. She leaves kind of like a, I'll show you. I really am dropping stuff tonight. Okay. When Rosa does hers, she scores at 1 and at 3. So the 1 is easy. There's the 1. And she scores at 3. And she leaves the sides for gluing. And then she just scores at every 1/4 of an inch. The reason that you do that, it's not just because it looks like a book spine. It's also because it's easier to bend it. Now, I have to tell you guys something while I'm doing this. I make mine out of designer paper. And underneath, I put the cardstock. So Rosa has a tool. I find I don't need it. She has a tool that makes bending this paper easier for this, but you don't need that tool, y'all. You really don't need that tool. You just need a little patience. So once you've scored it, and you can see, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can on my camera. Good. Okay. The scoring actually helps you create this kind of natural bend. You don't need her tool. All you need to do is just gently encourage this to bend. And then I do the same thing with designer paper. And what I do is I want the sturdiness of the cardstock, but I want the prettiness of the paper. And I glue them together, and then I attach them to the book. So how this would work, just so you can see, I haven't done my back cover yet, I will so you can see, is you would glue it on so that it looks like this. Only I'm going to cover mine in designer paper in a second so you can see. And that's how it attaches. And you just glue it on using this and this. But I'm going to cut some designer paper and show you and actually glue it on so you can see. And it's that simple, y'all. It really is that simple. This is probably one of the easiest books in the world to make, which is why I wanted to show it to you. Because once you can make this, you can make anything. Well, that piece is not going to be good because it's got a hole in the spot where I want it not to have a hole. Yeah, this is nice. Now I can, now that I'm not scoring, I'll get better at this managing of showing you and talking at the same time, I promise. All right. Hi, Becky. Okay. So that's the 6. Perfect. And the 4. And then what I have to do is score it. And I'm going to do the same thing as I told y'all. I'm just going to score it so that it has natural bend. You're loving your party. I'm glad you guys are loving it. I promise you I will get better at this. I also don't watch enough lives to know how people do lives. Do you know that? Like I realized that when I was planning this, I was like, you know, girly, you don't watch enough lives to know how people run them, which is kind of interesting. So all I'm doing is I'm scoring at every 1/4 of an inch again. And it's the same thing that I did to the cardstock version. I'm just making it easier for the paper to naturally bend to create a spine. That's all I'm doing. See how much better this scoreboard is? And I can lift it up and score, y'all. And the same thing, I'm just trying to naturally encourage the bends in the paper. And I might make this one a little shorter. Let's see if I can make it shorter. Can I? No, I can't. I wanted to shorten it a little because I like the way it looks a little shorter than I have it. So it's the same method, y'all. You glue this back on. I'm going to do it actually. I'm going to do another sheet. I didn't like the way that turned out. I don't know if I like the color contrast. Told you I'm picky. I thought I was going to like it. Now I don't like it. I think it's because I'm so in love with this Prima paper lately. I've been having a hard time liking some of my other paper. I'm telling you, this board, did you see did you guys just see that? I was able to score. Look, I can score. This is how good this scoreboard is, y'all. Look, I can hold it up and score in a straight line while talking to you. Right? I mean, it's unbelievable, this scoreboard. It's like unbelievable. Thank you very much. Aww. So, I mean, the scoreboard was like a really worthwhile investment. All right, well, let me show you for the sake of the tutorial, and I'll cover this later because it's better that you guys actually get to see how it attaches. So it's the same thing, y'all. All you do is you take the glue, and again, I would say the trickiest part is the lining it up. It's making sure that you've attached it perfectly so that all the seams match and that there's no overage anywhere. That's probably the hardest part. And that it's even on both sides, which it is. And then I'm going to cover this with designer paper, do the same thing. And I'm actually not going to attach the back. And I'm going to tell you why. That's because I'm actually going to pierce this one with my crocodile and put an eyelet in this one. So if you're going to put an eyelet in, make sure that you do it before you seal the second side to the back, right? And it's that simple, y'all. It's that simple. That's how simple it is to make one of these books. Now, when you start getting into like the one I made Jelly Bean and the one I made Carmen, where the pages open different ways, and or like how Judy makes them where they go up and down and there's gatefolds, that's a much more complicated book. But once you can build this book, you can build any book. You know, once you understand the hinges, the basic book hinges, you can build anything. You can build a mini, you can build any size. It's quite remarkable, actually. And you can do it in an hour. Even slow crafters like me can do it in an hour. Super simple. Super, super simple, y'all. I'm just reading to see what Letta, what do you have? Oh my goodness. Oh, you see, okay. The line is really important. I'm telling you all. I swear to you, I thought I could not score properly until I saw Tony. She was doing a tutorial one day and she slipped at the exact same place every single time that I slipped at. And then I realized that was the place where there was like a break in the board. And then Bertha said she had the same problem. Leticia had the same problem. Pat had the same problem. It's like the worst scoreboard on the face of the planet. It also was the worst cutter on the face of the planet. That was the other problem. Wait, Laura, you can sing? I'm just catching up now. I'm just catching up because now that we're done and we actually made the book in the hour. See? This is what I'm telling you. It's amazing. The fact that Slow Maker here can do this in an hour means you guys can do it in an hour. Yeah, but Lauren, don't forget I've made these a lot of times. Like, look. And look how many pages I made for this one, Lauren. Like this one, if you take a look, like this one I made, I think there's 20-something pages in this one. So this took, and I'm not even done decorating yet, Lauren. Like it's just built. Yeah, you know what? You're right, Michelle. Michelle's right. Listen, I told you guys this from the beginning. The biggest mistake I made, the worst investment I ever made were crappy tools. Now, like once you have a good tool, all it takes is practice and measuring. That's it. It's really all it takes. Crappy tools are crappy tools. Yeah, it turned out great. This is an easy book, but this is like, that's what's nice about this. And that's why I wanted to teach it, because so many people are afraid of bookmaking, and this is so easy to make that if I could teach you in one live to make it in an hour, then anyone can make it. And that was my point. It's super simple. You know, and once you learn this, you'll have confidence to do the more complicated ones. Because, you know, the ones that are the hardest, the toughest ones are the ones with the hidden bindings. Those are the hardest books to build. I still struggle with those, where you don't see the binding at all. Those are the trickiest because you have to slide them in. Alina has a die for it, but you know what? Lanny, have you tried it yet? I ordered you the same one that I got myself, and I don't love it. I'm just reading all your comments. Yeah, like the Teflon folder. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this really is easy, Cynthia. I swear to you. That's why I figured if we could do this in a live, then you would know how simple this is. Yeah, I'll post it for sure. I will. And I could also do like a hands-on watch me tutorial if it's going to be easier. I can't right now do both. I can't be face-to-face and show you my hands. When I get my new equipment, I can. I just can't yet. The most expensive things are the best price. But you know what? It's true, Kathy. You know what? I wish someone had told me that in the beginning. I wish someone had said, Alicia, buy better tools. I actually take really good care of my tools. Like I just changed my Fisker blade for the first time on that cutter since I got it. And I take really good care of my tools. So they're always a good investment. I just didn't realize they would make a big difference. Like to me, when I first started, I didn't realize like, a cutter to me seemed like a cutter. Oh, there are huge differences in cutters. No, it's my pleasure, guys. It's my pleasure. See, okay, so you sew your books. Now I'm hand sewing mine. I just made Carmen my first hand sewn book, Michelle. My very first. And it's hand sewn. It took me a really long time. I struggle with the sewing machine, guys. I'm much better at hand sewing. For some reason, if I hand sew, I do fine. But there's something between my brain and the sewing machine. We just don't get along. I don't know what it is. But give me a needle and thread and I can sew, which is really funny. You can do it, Linda. I'm telling you. It's super simple, right? Once you get it, like you're like, oh, all I have to do is build a hinge, a sheet, a hinge, a sheet, and leave 2 hinges at the end and attach my cover. It's that simple. And then, we're being a little fancy building this way. I mean, there are easier ways to do it than what I'm showing you, but it looks nice. So why not do it? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Yeah, see me, that, Michelle, me too. If I have a needle and thread, I can sew a book. But I can't do it on a machine. I'm still struggling. We all have a big debate. Deb just asked, like, what are the good fussy cutting scissors? Deb, I'm still struggling a little bit. Everyone tells me I should buy the cutter bee. Is that what they're called? The ones May uses. I find that, I told you all, my hand gets tired. So I need really light scissors. The Tonic spring scissors I got for Pat are very good quality, but even they are too heavy for me. I need a really light scissor. The Tim Holtz, the Tim Holtz scissors for me are the best too. It's just they're heavy for me, Deb. After an hour, my hand hurts so much when I use them because they're heavy. They're really good quality. Like whenever you saw when I was doing the book cutting, I use my Tim Holtz scissors. I love them. I really love them. But the thing about them is they are heavier. So if you've got hand issues after an hour, it'll hurt. I hear from people that the cutter bees, which is what May uses for fussy cutting, are lighter, not quite as good as a Tim Holtz, but better than a We Are Memory Keepers. But I don't know if that's true. Connie fussy cuts a lot? Let me see what other people have to say. I'm curious. Yeah, I do need a scan and cut. My husband and I were talking about it today. Oh, I never thought to use embroidery scissors for that. Interesting. Laura, do yours come the same way as ours, where if you flip them over, one side's serrated and one side is clean, or yours just comes serrated? Oh, so Deb, so Deb, you're gonna have the same problem as me. After an hour, Deb, no matter what, the scissors are heavy. So that's why I have these are my favorites. Like, I love these scissors, but after a while, my hand hurts, so then I have to use those crappy little We Are Memory Keeper scissors. Oh, yeah, Jelly Bean has a scan and cut, and Susan has a scan and cut. Lots of people have scan and cuts. Oh, wait, you hated your scan and cut, Laura? You better tell me why. Is it because you think it's slow? Oh, I have to hear why. Yeah, I think, you know what? I think that's my next purchase. I think I'm so in love with these scissors. I want them in every size they come in. I don't have the minis, so I'm thinking that that's my next purchase, maybe. I do love these, y'all. You know what? I'm messy. These clean up with baby wipes. They're never dirty. They're self-sharpening. I'm crazy about those scissors. I want to find out why Laura hates her scan and cut. See, Lizzie, I hear the ones from the DT are great too, that they're better than the We Are Memory Keepers. I hear the same thing as you. Yeah, because you hate fussy cutting, Susan. Wait, and Kathy I need a scan and cut too, Kathy. I was just talking to my husband about it. But I want to hear why, see, I can't get on with it. See, that's what worries me. So what Laura's saying she can't get it to always size things properly. Y'all, I'm so picky. I'm worried that I'm going to be, but Susan helped me. I'm going to say this. Susan helped me because, if you watch a video on YouTube, it looks like this scan and cut is so slow. And I thought, oh, I'm going to be impatient. I'm just going to end up fussy cutting. But then Susan did a video in real time and it's not slow at all. So yeah, see, those are lighter. See, I like those too, Lizzie. Yeah, see, Dawn, I haven't made for the last year I've been debating on it. I just do all my fussy cutting myself. And it means I'm slow, but I don't mind doing it. But everybody swears by the scan and cut. Ah, but you think the silhouette's easier. See, and Lily always loved the silhouette. I was just worried that the silhouette would be too complicated. Ooh, that's going to bother me. Sorry. I was just reading everyone's comments. So if the border doesn't cut straight around the ephemera, it's going to make me crazy. That's going to make me crazy. Then I'll end up fussy cutting the border. Thanks so much. Yeah, we should end it soon too. Anyway, it's been an hour. I think we are. I'm not sure how much time we're allowed to have since this is the first one and we're over an hour. Um, no, that makes sense to me why you didn't like it. That actually makes sense. See, that will make me crazy. Like I'm a bit OCD that way. I'm not OCD about everything. You see that crafty mess on my table, but I'm really OCD about. Well, you saw how particular I was about the binding on the book. I'm OCD about things like that, and I'm OCD about uneven cutting. So that will make me nuts if it doesn't cut it evenly. Yeah, see, Lizzie, that's what I'm worried about too. Same thing as you. I'll do it all over again. Oh no. See, now Janice just told me she fussy cuts better than the scan and cut. Oh no. See, I'm never going to get a scan and cut. I'm going to end up fussy cutting my life away. I'm telling you. Jelly Bean is an excellent fussy cutter though. Like she can cut even the detail stuff. It's true. Thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate it very much. You know, I will get better at doing this while also responding to you. It's just that this is the first time, so I appreciate your patience. But I'm glad a lot of you learned how to make a simple book, because now you can make lots of different books, not just this one. Not just this one. I'm just reading the last one. Yeah, what do people think? Is a Cricut? Oh, thank you, Dawn. Is a Cricut better than a silhouette? Before we say goodnight, what do y'all think? Oh, it's my pleasure to do. Listen, it's my pleasure. Next time we'll be better set up, and I will get more used to it. Maybe I got to watch some lives too, so I understand how people do it. And I will post this later because I know people want to follow it after. See, Kat loves her Cricut, right? And I hear too from my friends who just got a Cricut, they love theirs too. Oh, thanks very much, Deb. Thank you. Oh, Barbara likes her Cricut too. Hi, Monty. Got it. I will get back. Okay, so sorry, that was for Tammy Green. I'll make sure to do that as soon as we get off here. Thanks so much, y'all. I really appreciate it. I'm reading all your comments before I say goodnight. Yeah, it's almost split, isn't it? Lots of people like the Cricut and lots of people like the silhouette. Yeah, see, Tammy has both. Thanks so much, Sandra. I'm glad you guys, I'm glad because I want you to be able to learn how to do. People are so afraid of bookmaking, and it's really not difficult, y'all. It really isn't. I promise you, it's really easy. All right, y'all. I'm going to end our stream because we're over an hour. Thank you so much. Thank you, Elsa. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And Tammy, I'm going to go and send that to you right now so you have it. Bye, everyone. Oh, thanks, JB. I'll do a different one right with a different project next week. Something less complicated than a book, but maybe also more interesting. Bye, everyone. Have an amazing night. Thanks for spending some time with me. Good night. Bye, Kathy. Bye, Susan. Susan, it was really good to see you tonight. I was worried, actually. Bye, y'all. Bye, Alice. Big hugs, Alice. I'll also text you. Good night, y'all.